Hey folks, good morning. It's been a good while since I posted something, so I wanted to say hi and see how y'all doing. But something came up a few days ago, and it's a discussion a lot of people seems to be unfamiliar with in some cases. So a friend of mine and I were talking about um, phone usage, cell phone usage, to be specific, and I commented that in the last decade alone, the usage of phone has increased, and that's that's nominal. That's part of development growth into the society. But the question came up when I said something like, "Do you notice that a lot of the traits that a lot of people have when it comes to phones is to the level that is equal to that of an addiction?" Here's why. Here's why I stated that, and maybe some people might have a counterpoint about it. But when you see individual focused on their phone, okay, more focused on their phone, and they're not willing to focus on their driving, where the phone is on one hand and they're still texting whatever, or they're focused on their monitor on their dashboard. The question becomes important to ask: is your life more important when it's around the phone itself? The question becomes more important is, are you a CEO of a big company? Are you a leader of the free world? Are you is the phone so important that you can't put it down for even a darn minute? Because I see people walking with the phone and their faces are downward or not focused at all. It's not an American thing. It's a universal thing. But the problem is there are kids today who are following their parents and adults who are so focused on their phone that they don't see the viable problems that can occur if people are focused on their phone versus the environment they're in. A great example, okay? There was a situation a few months ago where a child was abducted. Glad that the kid was safe, but the police officer who was being interviewed said the problem is a lot of people are focused on their phone and don't know their environment, don't see what's around them. Criminals and situational awareness is something people don't think about. You don't think about criminals who are more focused on doing the deed, and people don't have the situational awareness of what's going on in their environment. So today we see more and more people who are getting injured or losing their step or anything like that. And that came to light to me because it's something I've been talking about to a lot of people. Are you willing to change your mannerism, or are you willing to change your environment? The problem is people are not willing to change both. But the question for my friend and I was, how do we balance it out? To me, it's simple. Is it something you need, or is it something you want to do? The need and want aspect is as old as time itself, part of being in human nature. But the aspect of security, the aspect of safety, the aspect of the tangibles becomes a reality when people are getting hurt because they're more focused on the phone itself than the focus on what's in front of them and the environment they're in. This discussion became more elaborate in a sense for me just a few weeks ago again when another friend of mine was talking about when he was telling his children when they're walking or doing anything in an environment they think they're safe, especially the streets or in corners, don't put your head down. Look, take your phone and put it in your pocket put it aside. If if you have that urge to pull your phone every minute, every second, then there's a good sign you have a dependency issue. Adults have a dependency issue on the phone. For me, it's funny because I had a big discussion about it just weeks ago with my spouse, because it's really funny when people are so scared to leave their phone at home. I've left my phone at home so many times and it doesn't bother me. My philosophy is, if I can't get away from 5 to 10, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops from my phone, then I'm seriously in trouble. That's a some it's a, that's not an assumption. It's a direct reflection of our society today. Because I was talking to a couple guys a while ago, and they said it themselves. Like, they need to have the phone. I said, why do you need it? And they were giving me every possible reason why, and I countered it with a straight answer. Do you really need your phone for what you think you need it for? And a lot of times, people are reflective of that notion. A a lot of psychologists and a lot of behavioral experts even said it. There's countries in the world now, including in the EU, who are telling their adults, that they're adults, you need to start taking electronic control back from your children to yourself. When you see children are more focused on the phone because adults are too impatient today in the States and abroad, they're impatient to to talk to their children, or impatient because the kids are crying. What do you think your parents did to quiet you down? My mom just talked. Some people don't like to talk anymore. They prefer texting each other, and that's why a lot of children today are inherently unable to communicate face to face. I've talked to a friend of mine. She said that her children even said it. They're more comfortable talking to somebody on the phone, texting, than face to face. That is a social problem. When people are more comfortable behind the desk than in front of a person. Is it a bad trait? No. But it's a dangerous trait for a lot more people, because social support means also face to face. There has to be a garnered idea about the phones. Is it something you need, or is it something you want to have for more than security? In the end, it's about personal security and accountability for somebody who feels that they need that kind of balance. And that phone is a structured tool that can either help you or deny you certain liberties. And sometimes that liberties are often based on what's going on in the situation you or I are in. So in the end, do you think people today are more addicted to their phones, in a sense of they need to have it even when they're driving, walking, and things like that? So for now, take care, stay safe, and keep